Hello and welcome to Langlet Online. Today we would be talking about research paper writing, and this research paper writing is related to the field of ELT, English language teaching, or English literature. So these are the various components that we would be covering. Now let us look at all these components: objectives, introduction, elements of a research paper, how to write a good research paper, uses of writing research papers, and summing up. Let us look at all these points in detail. So after watching this video, you would be able to understand what is a research paper, why do we write research papers, and how should we write a good research paper. Let us look into the details. We usually attend many seminars, conferences, workshops, national, regional, international seminars. And when we attend these seminars, we have to give some paper presentations also related to the subject area. When we have to give a paper presentation, firstly we need to send the abstracts to the concerned authorities. The authorities will scrutinize your abstracts based on the content and the research problem and the solution that you have proposed and what are the findings and conclusions of your abstract. After your abstracts are accepted, then they would go for the paper presentation permission. After you get the permission, you would present it. And after presenting, you would also want to publish your papers in some good journals, Scopus Index journals or UGC approved journals, etc. So how to publish paper, how to write an abstract, how to write a full paper, we would be talking about that. Now, let us talk about the elements of a research paper. So these are the elements: title, abstract, the actual paper, tables, figures and illustrations, and references. Let us look at all these points in detail. So firstly, title. Here I have chosen one example, Vaccines for Kids, Their Usefulness. Look at this title. It is very precise and concise. All the title should be limited to 1 or 1.5 lines, but not more than that. And the title should convey everything about the topic. See here, if you take this title, this topic is about vaccines, and these vaccines are for kids. And whether these vaccines are useful or not, your study will talk about that. So the title conveys the entire information about your research work. And every content word in your title should start with a capital letter. See here, what are content words? Nouns, adjectives, adverbs, interjections, main verbs. These are all the content words. Prepositions, conjunctions, articles. These are called the structural words. So here the content words are vaccines. It's a noun. Kids, noun. Usefulness. It is also a noun. And for is a preposition, so we have used lowercase letter. For vaccines, kids and usefulness, we have used capital letter, the first letter. And their usefulness, there is a pronoun, right? So here, because it is the first word, we are using the capital T over here. So the title should also be very brief and catchy, and it should just give information about your entire project. Now we'll talk about the abstract. So abstract is a brief summary of your project. What are the various things that you have focused on in your paper? An abstract should be of 1 or 2 paragraphs and 150 to 200 words. It depends on the journals also. Sometimes they ask you to give an abstract with 200 to 250 words as well. And you need, in the abstract, in the first paragraph, you need to write a brief introduction about the topic in 2 or 3 lines. And then the next few lines you can concentrate on why you have selected this topic, what are you going to find through this paper, and what are the methodologies that you would be following, and what are the outcomes and findings of this study. After you finish writing the abstract, you will write the keywords also, around 5 to 6 keywords. Now I'll show you an example of an abstract. See, this is a paper which I have written and published, and the title of this is Enhancing Language Skills Through Literature, a Study, and this is the abstract. If you just observe this paragraph, the first 4 or 5 lines are a brief introduction about the topic. Literature is an effective source of language learning for the learners of English language. It has all the components of language education like grammar, vocabulary. So this is the introductory line. Then speaking skills of students can be improved greatly with the use of literary text in the classroom. So this is the main point of my research. So how speaking skills can be enhanced using literary text in the classroom. And then further elaboration. This paper examines the different ways in which literary text can be exploited to promote language expertise in students. As part of this, integration of all the 4 skills, LSRW, is done in the activities design, and finally the productive skill of speaking is tested. Now my research shows that the quality of language used by the experimental group is comparatively better than that of the control group. The paper then proves the fact that apart from providing aesthetic pleasure, literary texts have an influence on the learner's use of words, phrases, idiomatic expressions, and culture-specific jargon. So this is the finding of your paper. So after reading the literary text, students have improved their vocabulary and they show good improvement in their writing skills also. So this is the abstract. Now let us talk about this. The paper, the actual paper has introduction, discussion, conclusion, references, and list of tables and figures. We will be talking about introduction, discussion, conclusion, etc. in the next part. Then we will talk about the tables and figures. So usually when we do a research and if we do the field study and if you have different questionnaires or opinionaires administered to different people and you are finding out the opinions and you are collecting the data, then we require some tables and figures. See here, we can also support our research using some tables, pie charts, bar graphs, line graphs, flow chart, etc. So firstly, we have all the details over here. See, pie chart, it looks like this: line graph, bar chart, pictogram, etc. And if you take the example of a pie chart, how a pie chart should be designed, you can just write all the categories or the details like this in different colors. So comedy, action, romance, how many of them like comedy, action, romance, foreign fiction and science fiction, etc. And this is the example of a flow chart. See, one point leads to the other, right? So this is called a flow chart. You can also represent your data in the form of a flow chart. So these are the elements of a research paper. And now we'll look at the references. What are the books that you have referred while you were writing the paper? You can have primary sources and secondary sources. In case of literature, the novels and the short stories that you have read or the poems that you have read come under the primary sources. And secondary sources are those works wherein the others write about these particular authors. What others have said about these works. So those are called secondary sources. They can be books or articles. And we can also refer to some journals and web articles. So these are the ways in which you can represent the books that you have referred. So the surname should come first. It should be separated by a comma. Then the name, capital A, capital S, then full stop over here. And the missing queen, this is the name of the book. It should be written in italics. Zuban, this is the publication, the company which has published the book, and in which year it has been published, 2013. Right? If you're writing the text you can also write like this: Devi Mahashweta, the surname first and then the actual name, and Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak, Imaginary Maps. This is the name of the text. It should be in italics, and these are the publishers, and we have the year. If you're referring to a web article, you will have to give the URL like this, and date on which you have taken this article, and even the time. Specify the time, because usually in the internet the articles keep changing. People have the benefit of even adding their own information. They can also edit the information on Wikipedia, etc. Now we will talk about how to write a good research paper. So these are the various elements. Firstly, we need to select a topic. Then we need to select a suitable title. How the title should be, we have already discussed. And then we need to have the literature review. Literature review is reading all the books and the primary sources, secondary sources, and articles, journals, and who are the other people who have conducted the research on the same topic. Where did they stop and where do you want to begin? Or who are the theorists behind a particular topic? Who are the famous personalities? What are the theories behind it, etc. You need to read a lot of books related to that. Then we have the introduction, discussion, language to be used in a research paper, and the references and the list of tables and illustrations. Let us look at all these points in detail. Firstly, selection of a topic. You need to select a topic and narrow it down. Narrowing it down means you need to choose a specific topic. You cannot choose broad topics. Suppose you want to do research on Indian writing in English. Indian writing in English is a broad topic. So you will have to narrow it down and say that Indian writing in English in 19th century, or the Indian authors who have contributed to the world of fiction, etc. You have to narrow it down and then select a suitable title. Literature review. So firstly, when you want to write a paper, you have to read some research articles, at least 50 papers of good quality, and even books. How many ever books you want, you can refer to the books also, read the books or the book articles. And what are the pioneering works? Like if you are talking about a particular topic, who have already talked about that and what is their research area of interest, etc. You need to research on that. And then who are the authors and who are the theorists related to a particular work that you want to focus on. So firstly, now let us see how we can write the introduction part. So here in the introduction, you may have around 4 to 5 paragraphs, and first paragraph may contain meaning and definition of the topic. And then we can also go ahead with the background information, the socio-cultural, historical, political information related to the book or to the author. The author's details also can be given. What are the awards that he has received, etc. What are his other works, etc. And then what are the various themes and techniques that the author employs in his works, and what the paper proposes to do. So this is the introduction. It can be in 2 to 3 paragraphs. Now let us talk about the discussion part. Here, in the discussion, we can have around 10 to 15 paragraphs and 100 to 150 words in each and every paragraph. When you write the discussion, you need to focus on your own views about the topic, supporting by the others' views or the theorists. So always you can support your viewpoint with the help of others' views, and then highlight the argument, problem, issues, thoughts, ideas, and perspectives. What is the actual argument? What is the research problem or the thesis statement? And what are the various issues related to it? Suppose if it's a literature paper, you do not have the problems or issues, etc. You can focus on your own thoughts, ideas, and perspectives related to it. And support your arguments with evidences from primary sources, theories, earlier studies. And if you are writing a paper related to field study or ELT, you can also discuss the data that you have collected. And then check whether data supports or refutes your argument. So these are the various aspects that you can cover in the discussion part. And conclusion. How should your conclusion be? So your conclusion should be based on the analysis or the data interpretation that you have done, and your conclusion should have the solution to the problem statement that you have mentioned in your research paper. And what is the outcome of your study? Did you get positive results or the negative results? Even if it is negative results, you can highlight that because that is based on your study. And you can also give the suggestions or recommendations for betterment of your project work. Now let us talk about the language that you can use in a research paper. So if the language that you focus on in your research paper should be very easy and to read and understand by the audience, except, and then you need to use simple words. The diction should be good, and it should have subject specific jargon, or it should have the technical words, and you should use your own words. If you want to paraphrase or summarize somebody's work, you can also do that, but always try to use your own words and then acknowledge the work that has been written. Then we'll talk about the uses of writing research papers. Firstly, we will know the solutions to the problem, and we get an in-depth knowledge about the subject. And the thinking and research abilities of individuals also increase. That is why we need to keep on reading, and we need to update our knowledge in the area of interest, and we gain an in-depth knowledge. So summing up, here, if we write more research papers, if we read, it will be useful for our teaching. At the same time, we can also become academically strong and professionally competent, because research papers also contribute to your knowledge base, and it will help you to improve your knowledge in a very systematic manner. So you will become a thorough intellectual in your area of specialization. Thus, research paper writing is very much interesting, and you need to work a lot. You need to write the drafts, and you can also edit and revise it several times to make the language also look appealing. And you can also work a lot on this by um, reading more, right? These are the ways in which you can write your research papers. And now I will also give you a link of one of my papers that has been published around 5 or 6 years back. You will also know how to write an abstract, how to write the keywords, and how to write the introduction, discussion, and conclusion, how to develop the paragraphs, how you can also quote the works of others, the quotations given by others, the etc. And finally, the findings, conclusions, etc. Thank you for watching. Hope this video was useful to you.